Why did you betray me? How could you leave me here alone?
Long ago, when the earth was still young enough to listen to human voices, there lived a woman named Nambasa. Nambasa did not own cattle. She did not wear beads of gold. She did not speak loudly in gatherings. But her hands knew secrets. When Nambasa cooked, even water became sweet. She lived in the village of Kisoga, a place where cooking was not just a daily task, but a language of honor. In Kisoga, a woman was remembered by how her food made people feel. Some meals filled the stomach, others filled the heart. Nambasa's food did both. When she cooked millet bread, it rose as if breathing. When she stirred ground nut stew, the oil shone like the morning sun. When she roasted meat, the smoke alone could wake a sleeping child. People said, her food tastes like care. Others whispered, she must have been taught by spirits. But Nambasa only smiled and said, my mother taught me to listen to food. The friends who watched too closely. Nambasa had friends, 3 women who often sat with her in the evenings. There was Sewa, quick to laugh but slow to forgive. There was Mirembe, whose tongue was soft but whose heart was sharp. And there was Katozi, who spoke little and watched much. At first they were proud of Nambasa. When people praised her cooking, they said, she is our friend. But praise is a strange visitor. It enters quietly and leaves with noise. Soon, whenever there was a feast, elders called for Nambasa. Whenever a bride was to be honored, Nambasa cooked. Whenever travelers arrived, it was Nambasa's pot that was opened, and the 3 friends were left watching. They noticed how people licked their fingers after eating Nambasa's food. They noticed how children followed her home, hoping for leftovers. They noticed how even the village chief greeted her with respect. Jealousy does not announce itself. It grows like a weed under shade. The king's announcement, one season, a messenger arrived from the capital. His drum was new. His voice was strong. He beat the drum 3 times and announced, hear me, people of Kisoga. Our king will host the great cooking competition. The finest cooks from every village will compete. The winner shall cook for the king and be honored for life. The village erupted in excitement. Everyone knew who would represent Kisoga. Before anyone could speak, an elder said, Nambasa will go. Nambasa's friends clapped. They smiled. They congratulated her. But that night, when the moon climbed high, the 3 women met without her. The plot, born in darkness. They sat near the old fig tree where secrets were often buried. Sewa spoke first. If she goes, she will win. Mirembe added, and we will remain shadows behind her fire. Katozi said nothing. She only picked at the dirt with a stick. Sewa leaned forward. What if she doesn't reach the competition? Silence followed. The night insects paused, as if listening. Mirembe's voice dropped. There is the deep village beyond the hills. Even hunters fear it. Katozi finally spoke. If she is delayed, the competition will pass. They did not speak of blood. They did not speak of death. They spoke only of delay. And in jealousy, that was enough. The journey begins. On the morning of her departure, Nambasa packed her cooking tools, her favorite wooden spoon, smooth with years of use, a small pouch of spices dried by her mother long ago, and a clay pot, blackened by many fires. Her friends came to see her off. Sewa said, we will walk with you part of the way. Nambasa smiled, grateful. They walked together, laughing, sharing memories. After some time, Mirembe said, there is a shorter path through the inner village. It will save you time. Nambasa hesitated. I have never used that path. Katozi replied calmly, we have. Trust us. Trust is easy when loved ones live there. So Nambasa followed, lost where voices fade. The path narrowed, the trees thickened, the air grew still. Soon the friends stopped. Sewa pointed ahead. Just there, follow the sound of the river. Before Nambasa could ask another question, they turned back. She stood alone. She walked and walked and walked. But there was no river, only silence. By nightfall, she realized the truth. She had been thrown away like unwanted peelings. The deep village Nambasa wandered until her legs trembled. At last, she reached a forgotten settlement. Huts leaning like tired elders. An old woman sat by a dying fire. She looked at Nambasa and said, "You are not meant to come, but you are welcome." The villagers had little food. Their crops were thin. Hope was thinner. That night, though tired and afraid, Nambasa cooked with what little they had. Wild roots, a handful of grain, rainwater. When the villagers tasted the food, they wept. They had forgotten food could taste like home. The fire that answered backward spread quickly. Each day Nambasa cooked. Each day people grew stronger. One evening, the old woman said, "Your fire listens to you." She taught Nambasi a secret. Food carries truth. When cooked with patience, it travels farther than feet. She gave Nambasa a new pot, cracked but strong. "Go," she said, "cook where you were meant to." The competition without her. At the capital, the competition began. Kisoga sent another cook. The king tasted the food and frowned. "Where is the woman whose food speaks?" he asked. No one answered. They returned on the final day, just as the sun leaned west. Nambasa arrived, dusty, tired, but unbroken. She cooked with calm hands. When the king tasted her food, he stood. "This food tells a story," he said, "of loss, of patience, of truth." She won, the price of jealousy. The truth came out. Her friends were called. They could not deny it. The king said, "Jealousy starves everyone." They were sent away to learn humility where no one knew their names. The woman remembered. Nambasa returned home, honored. But she never mocked her former friends. She cooked, she taught, and she always said, "A good cook feeds people, a great cook feeds the future." And to this day, elders say, if food tastes like forgiveness, then Nambasa's spirit is near. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this story a like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories.
Alright, girls, stir it slowly.
Yes! It smells so good. Can I try? Of course, your turn.